Hey folks, this is going to be one of the longer reviews, and probably the most excited I've ever been to talk about an Oilers game, because that really was one of the most fun Oilers games to watch. But let's get right into it, because it's almost 2 a.m. I got to be up in 8 hours. My hair is already messy. We'll be okay. Let's talk about that game a little bit extra. There's so much to go over. I'm really excited to talk about what I think I've already said it, and I will keep saying it. Probably the most fun I've had watching an Oilers game this year. So first period, Washington takes a penalty really early. 1 minute 5 seconds into it, Nick Dowd, high sticks, Darnell Nurse. Darnell Nurse is bleeding. So not only is it not a good idea to give the other team a power play, it's not a good idea to give the Edmonton Oilers a power play early in the game, or any team early in the game. It's also an even worse idea to not give the Edmonton Oilers a 4 minute power play early in the game. I will say Darnell Nurse was holding Abe Kubel's stick during that, so I think there's an argument to be there that Nurse should have gone off as well, and so it would have been a 2 minute power play for the Edmonton Oilers instead of four. But if that's the lone excuse Washington has, it's not enough, because that missed call didn't lose you the game. It was everything else. But it did start on this 4 minute power play. Washington's penalty kill played excellent for the 3 minutes of it, until in the last 50 seconds or so, the top power play unit comes back on, and they settle down and they just stack the shots on. And Draisaitl gets 3 one-timers in like 30 seconds or less. Allowing Draisaitl to get one of those shots off is not a good idea. It's hard to stop him from doing it in a power play, so it's going to happen, but that should be your focus, to not let him do that once or twice, not let alone 3 times in 30 seconds. And the third one goes in. The Oilers go up 1-0. It's his 33rd of the year, and he's assisted by Connor McDavid and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. That is McDavid's 80th assist of the year, and that just yeah, maybe Edmonton shouldn't have had a 4 minute power play, but you also shouldn't let Draisaitl shoot from his spot like 3 times in 20 seconds or so. Next, after being on the penalty kill, Washington thought it was so fun they decided to do it again. Dylan Strome goes off 6 minutes and a quarter in the first. He goes off like Dowd for high sticking, but this time it was only for 2 minutes. And like the last power play, Edmonton scores on it again. It's Connor McDavid, who has some room to shoot and does, and scores. It's his 25th of the year, assisted by Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard. At this point, I should mention, I get pretty... I'm trying to fix my hair, and it's weird because everything's opposite. But I've already mentioned my hair is messy, and we're more going to talk about how awesome this game was, how much went down, and how Mark Spector is a terrible human being, and just needs some help, whether at home or I don't know what's wrong with him. How he manages to be negative in what is probably the most positive Oilers game of the year, and he's a downer. But we'll get to that. That's at the end of what I already know is going to be a long video, because I'm so excited. And Mark Spector, man. What is it, man? I don't normally recommend getting high, but maybe you should at this point. Like, dude, come on. Anyways, so at that point, the Oilers have scored 2 goals, and the shots are 9-0. And so some of my friends online are asking, they're saying, I hope Edmonton wins and all that. I don't know why, because normally they don't. I didn't ask why. I was just happy to say, hey, yeah, happy to have you. And I say, well, good news. Oilers have 2 goals and haven't allowed a shot yet. And I apologize for jinxing the Oilers because of what happens next. First, it begins with a goal from... Jack Michaels said this so well. I have to look at his name to say it. It's his second goal of the year, unassisted. 8 minutes and 30 seconds in. It's, bear with me, Miroshnichenko. Jack Michaels obviously must have been practicing that a ton before, because he said it so quickly and so well. But he's amazing, so whatever. So that makes it 2-1. And then the Oilers decide to try penalty kill themselves when Ryan McLeod takes a holding penalty at 9 minutes and 19 seconds, and Washington does convert on that power play. It's McMichael scoring his 13th of the year. He's assisted by Ovechkin and Pacioretty. At this point, Skinner has only had to have 2 shots against him, and both of those were goals. He hasn't made a save yet, and it's not looking like a good performance from Skinner. I think he should have had both of those goals, so it's just kind of like, oh crap, man. You're worried, but I don't know what happened in that goal, but he turns into Dominic Hasek after that. Um, but the Oilers don't let the first period end like that. 11 minutes and 24 seconds into the first period, Zach Hyman scores an even strength goal, his 44th goal of the year, and he's assisted by McDavid and Kulak. With that goal, Hyman ties Gretzky for the longest home goal streak in franchise history at 10 straight games. It should be noted that Hyman, like I mentioned, that it was bad for the Caps to let Ovi get 3 chances from his spot, and they let Hyman have not only just 1 good slot chance here, but 2, because Hyman gets it wide open in the slot. Kemper makes a good save, but the puck goes right back to Hyman, who has a second chance. Nobody is nearby to push him away or anything or clear the rebound, so Hyman pots it on the second chance. And then 18 minutes and 17 seconds into the first period, Skinner makes his first save. And this sounds like applauding sarcastically. One, it's because it's late at night, so I don't want to applaud too loudly, but it is truly save of the year candidate. I'm not saying that as a biased Oilers fan, as a Skinner fan. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous save on who else? Alexander Ovechkin. Ovechkin has an easy open net, and Skinner does a 2-hand diving save, catches it, and it is just miraculous, as Jack Michaels calls it. And that period ends. It should be noted that when Hyman scored the goal to make it 3-2, Jack Michaels said, "Hope you took the over," but only one team would do the scoring from there on out. Shots were 10-5 for Edmonton. It should also be noted that Eklund was not playing in this game, so the Oilers' ability to control the game should still have been good, because Washington hasn't been great at controlling the game, but there was some concern with you were having different defensive pairings. So the top pairing was Bouchard and Kulak, who have had some time together lately, and this is why it's good to switch up pairings so that guys have chemistry when there is an injury. Nurse and Desharnais were together, who have also had some time together lately, more time than the other 2 pairings. And the new pairing was Troy Stecher and Cody Ceci. We'll get more into that in the second period, actually, pretty quickly, because Troy Stecher goes off for tripping. He's trying to make his first impression with the Oilers fan base, and he takes a tripping call 2 minutes into the second period. It's not like he wasn't trying to trip the guy. His stick was just in the wrong place, and it was a clear, obvious call. But the Oilers do kill that penalty. And then it is kind of some back and forth until, guess who? Hyman breaks the back and forth 14 minutes and 13 seconds into the second period. Hyman scores his 45th of the year. He's assisted by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And 4 more minutes of back and forth, and Washington decides he should take another penalty. TJ Oshie gets a little undisciplined, too undisciplined in front of the net. He gets called for cross-checking Brett Kulak, and the Oilers convert again. Bouchard fires a 94-mile-per-hour shot, and it goes in. But Louis DeBrusque notices right away that Hyman had a great screen and says, I had a really good angle. I think Hyman scored that. And Michaels agrees, but it officially goes down as a Bouchard goal. However, late in the game, when Capitals are already trying to get out of the building, it's announced that the goal is given to Hyman, which makes it a hat trick, so hats start falling down. But not only that, it's a natural hat trick. So it's his 4th hat trick of the year, 2nd in the league to Matthews' 6th, and I'm pretty sure that's his 2nd natural hat trick of the year. I remember he had one this year. I don't remember if he had a second one. That's just incredible. Yes, people keep saying, well, it's easy when you play with those guys. It's easier, yes, but it's still very hard to do. Patrick Maroon did not have 4 hat tricks when he played with McDavid. So, anyways, but before the period could end, 38 seconds left. Troy Stecher takes another tripping penalty. Once again, he wasn't trying to trip the guy, but his stick was in the wrong place, and it was a pretty easy call. He's pretty pissed at himself because, again, he's trying to impress the fan base. Hey, it's my debut with the Oilers. What do? I take 2 unnecessary penalties in the same period. But anyways, the Oilers don't allow a goal for the rest of that period. Oilers lead in shots 11-10, which is impressive considering that included almost 3 minutes of penalty killing time. Thanks to Troy Stetcher. Sorry to harp on you. I hope you do well. But it was already on his mind. Third period begins, and the Oilers are able to kill the rest of that penalty, including Ovi having a wide open shot again in the slot, and Skinner again saves it. It's another beautiful save. And so that's twice now that Skinner stones Ovechkin, and it's not the last time. Not long after that, McDavid decides he wants to sit in the penalty box. 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the game, he goes off for tripping. It's the third tripping call for the Oilers, so maybe they were practicing tripping the night before. I don't know, or in the morning skate. But Oilers once again kill off that penalty, and then it's not until just over the halfway mark the Oilers finally it feels like an Oilers win at this point when 10 minutes and 43 seconds into the final frame, Warren Foegele scores his 15th goal of the year, and he's assisted by Ryan McLeod and Leon Draisaitl. Now, as that goal is being announced, 17 seconds later, it happens. Evander Kane centers a pass, it goes off Connor Brown, and into the net for the first time of the year, first time as the Edmonton Oilers, and first time since March 24th, 2022. Connor Brown, plagued by injuries and I assume mental struggles, has a goal, and the place lights up. I'm so glad he did it at home so that Oilers country could show just how proud of them they are and happy for him they are, not just for the fact that the Oilers have a goal and have a guy who isn't useless offensively, but that we are actually happy for Connor Brown. We know it's got to be tough to come in expected as a guy who can score, who's played with McDavid past, and just not score. And he was so happy, and the fans give him like a multi-minute standing ovation. The Oilers bench just blows up, and everybody's just super excited for him, and he could almost cry there. I could have almost cried. I'm sure some people did. I didn't, but it could have been. And Jack Michaels had a great call on it. He goes, "Who is it? Can it be? It is." I don't want to do a full impression. One, because it'd probably be bad, but two, it's also 2 a.m., and I'm not alone in this house. I don't want to wake up people if I haven't already. So it was just awesome. And even more awesome is at the beginning of the game, TNT, I believe it was TNT, interviewed Evander Kane and talked about Kane playing on Brown's line, and Evander Kane says, "I want to assist Brown in his first goal," and he did exactly that. And it's a 7-2 game, and that's how it ends, but not before Ovi gets another wide open net, and Skinner, for the third time, gets a incredible point blank save. So he has 2 saves that are posted on the NHL Instagram page. He could have had 3, but 2 of them, and both were from an Ovechkin point blank shots. And again, there could have been a third one. So game ends 7-2. Just an incredible atmosphere. Immediate thoughts is, one, Hyman has a natty hattie again, 4th hat trick of the year. I believe 2nd natty hattie, if not his 3rd. Third just sounds crazy, so I'm going to go with 2. And Skinner turns into Dominic Hasek after having an ugly first period. Ovechkin had 7 shots this game and 3 easy goals, and he didn't end with a goal. He had an assist, but he didn't get a goal, when probably should have at least one of those been a goal. And it's not for a lack of talent, obviously. It's not because he's aged. It's because Stuart Skinner was amazing. He turned into Dominic Hasek and was probably better because of the mustache. Anyways, then you also talk about how the Oilers defense stood tall because of Ekholm. It was noticeable that when there was mistakes that Washington usually had a good chance, but other than that, the Oilers defense still had a very good game without Ekholm. You have lots of scoring from the guys on top. You have some depth scoring as well, and you had Connor Brown's first goal, which was just awesome to see. So again, the game ends 7-2 in favor of the Oilers. Shots, 37-25 in favor of the Oilers. Hits, Oilers did have 19, which is a decent, average amount, but Washington had 31. Edmonton did control the faceoff circle at 58.2%. Edmonton also dominated on special teams, 3-for-4 on the power play, 3-for-4 on the penalty kill for the Oilers. Skinner was 23 for 25. Again, after going 0 for 2, he became a perfect goalie right after that, saving a lot he really shouldn't have. Kemper, who's been Jekyll and Hyde this year, it's either just a really ugly game or a really amazing game from him. He only saved 30 of 37. Not all his fault. There were some goals where the defense gave the Oilers quite a bit of time to score on Kemper, but Kemper could have also done more, though he did have some very notable saves. To his credit, he's still a very talented goalie. And I like the Kemper-Lindgren tandem for Washington, and it has been very good for them. But anyways, so the Oilers, 3 stars for me. I wanted to include Skinner. I didn't. I wanted to because this game could have been a lot more, but had to go to the 3 big names. Hyman, again, 3 goals. Obviously, your first star. Second star is Draisaitl, who had 4 points, a goal, and 3 assists, and then McDavid, a goal and 2 assists. But before it ended, I'm feeling like, hey, it's awesome being an Oilers fan. We just watched a great team win with better offense, better special teams, better defense, better goaltending, just a thorough win. And Oilers fans showed how awesome we can be with celebrating Connor Brown. And then Mark Spector freaking ruins it. Not entirely, but I was watching Connor Brown's interview in the locker room. And, the guys are asking questions, obviously, about the fact that Connor Brown scored his first goal with the Oilers and first goal since 2022. Keep in mind, he has been injured a lot the year before this. And then Mark Spector is like, was it tough having not scored all this time? Yes, Mark Spector, it was tough. We don't need to dwell on the facts. It's like, what if Connor Brown's wife got injured? What if Connor Brown, his wife gets killed? I'm sure Mark Spector would say, was it tough having your wife killed and you not being there by your side? Yes, Mark Spector, don't be a gosh dang horrible person. Like, what the heck? Do you do this to your wife too? Honey, is it tough having someone in your life die? Is it tough having a husband who's not supportive and is hated by your the fan base? Yes, Mark, honey, it is being tough married to you. I'm sure it is. Maybe it's not. It's your own private life. You can come after me. Most of the time, I try to be super nice. I don't want players to get the impression that I think they're terrible. But dude, I cannot find a Mark Spector defender because you keep asking these terrible questions. Oh, I'm just playing hardball, answering the rough questions that a journalist should. This is sports, Mark Spector. This isn't politics. It's sports. These are genuine human beings. You don't have to be a jerk. What do you think when you asked him that, was it tough not having scored? Do you think Brown would have said, no, he was fine. No. What do you think he was going to say? Come on. And so Mark Spector really couldn't have made it worse. And he did. He gets a follow-up question for some reason. Well, for some reason he gets one question, and for some reason he gets a second. And he asks the same dang question. He rewords it, and it just says, ask the same dang question. I said dang, I don't swear unless I'm playing goalie. I might swear about Mark Spector. Like, dude, come on. There has to be a positive side. You can't be a horrible person. I'm sure you're a good person. It's just, it's hard to see. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Normally when I trash talk someone, I don't want them to see this because I don't want to cause drama by this, but I don't freaking care. Klim Kostin was a fan favorite because he called out Mark Spector. He was a fan favorite for other reasons. Part of that was because he called out Mark Spector. Anyways. What was I getting? Yeah, so he rewords it and he says, and in rewording the question, he also says, I know scoring is not a huge part of your game. Don't say that. That's rude. That's super rude to say scoring's not a huge part of your game. It's not that Connor Brown, if Connor Brown was a goalie, you can say that. If Connor Brown was a defenseman, you can say that. Connor Brown's a forward. He gets paid to score goals. Obviously, the biggest part of his game has been his penalty killing and his takeaways, and some forwards are more defensive sounding, but that's not what Connor Brown was brought in for. He was brought in to add depth scoring. And he hasn't. And you go out and I swear, if somebody came up to Mark Spector, he's like, dude, Mark, I need some help. I got this dagger in my belly. Can you get it out? And Mark would take the handle and twist it. Does this hurt? Does this hurt? Does this hurt? Yes, Mark Spector, it hurts. Move on. And so, but credit to Connor Brown. He and the rest of the journalists, who I'm sure were rolling their eyes, I hope they were, continued asking questions, kept it lighthearted. Connor Brown, after talking to Mark Spector, was laughing and enjoying himself, and I'm glad for him. Because tonight was a really fun time to be an Oilers fan when you're not listening to Mark Spector, because you got to see so many awesome things. Even with, you got to see your defense play very well without Mattias Ekholm. You got to see your power play be efficient, your penalty kill be efficient, your goaltender get posted on, go viral twice with 2 saves on the best goal scorer in NHL history. Yes, he is the best, but that's a different video. You got to see your offense do incredible, score 7 goals, including a 4-point night for Draisaitl, a natural hat trick for Hyman, 3 points for McDavid, and Connor Brown's first goal. And we got to stand up and cheer for him and show how awesome Oilers fans are. And then there was Mark Spector. But let's try to keep focus. The focus is, this was a great night to be an Oilers fan. It was a great night to watch. And around the league, the other scores I was happy with. I thought it was cool to see Nashville win. Not too much hate to Winnipeg, more of a friendly hate. It was cool to see Colorado make a comeback against Vancouver. More again out of the friendly rivalry thing. And what was the other game? I'm trying to remember. I remember liking the... Oh, LA! That's the most important one. Again, out of friendly rivalry. If you're here as an LA fan, welcome, happy to have you. But obviously we're in a bit of a tough rivalry right now, so seeing LA lose 3-1, even though it was more or less Binnington, was good. So great night to be an Oilers fan. Just stay away from Mark Spector, and you'll have a great day. That's the key to life, frankly. I hope there are people out there who find Mark Spector positive and stuff. I don't know if he's married, so if I made an insensitive comment, I'm sorry. But like, Mark Spector did 2 in like 2 minutes. Not even. Oh my goodness. More people have to call him out, and not just him. There's lots of journalists who do it, or journalists in sports and all media. But that's not the point. Let's be positive. Let's be positive. It's 2:19 in the morning. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go to bed with smiles, because tonight was a great night to be an Oilers fan. And it really was. I had a great fun time watching it. And the Oilers look awesome. They have a tough battle against the Colorado Avalanche Saturday night at 8 p.m. I'm going to be in Lethbridge for that game, for another family event, not related to the last 2. But again, so I should be able to watch it, but my setup might not be super great. We'll see. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for getting this far. I apologize if I said something insensitive, but I felt like it had to come out at this point, because somebody has to say something. Please leave a like, especially if you think I earned it. Share your thoughts, whether you're Oilers fan, Washington fan, or whatnot. And have a great, wonderful rest of your day. Please consider subscribing. That helps a lot for me, seeing those numbers go up. It shows how that I really can make something out of this, because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy talking. I think my voice sounds amazing, but that's just me being... I'm joking mostly. Anyways, thank you so much. I'm rambling on. It's late. I'm trying to make sure I talked about everything, because there was so much to talk about, and I swear there's going to be something I forget, and if there is, I'll just use my personal account to put it in the comments, or you can comment. There. I'm tired. Great game. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I've said that already. I've talked about how much it's a great game. I don't need to say that anymore. Thank you so much. I just said that. I'll see you when I see you.